This cop died 7 months after a suspect spat in her face. Then police revealed the startling cause. Irina Koltsova, a police officer, frequently encountered unruly suspects. When one detainee spat in her face, she continued her duties without realizing how that moment would tragically contribute to her untimely death just 7 months later. Irina Koltsova lived in the capital city of Kyiv in Ukraine, where she worked as a police officer. It was a demanding job that often required Koltsova to detain suspects on the city streets. One such incident occurred on New Year's Day 2016. Koltsova and her partner, Officer Michael Kinderkevich, had been patrolling the streets when something caught their attention. They believed that a man nearby was breaking the law, so the two cops made their way over to the suspect to arrest him. When the officers arrived on the scene, however, the man refused to give up without a fight. In fact, a violent struggle between Koltsova and the suspect soon ensued. As the moments passed, Koltsova continued in her attempts to restrain the man, but this simply aggravated him. Then, without warning, the suspect spat right in the female officer's face. Although presumably disgusted, Koltsova decided to carry on with her work. After all, she had a long day ahead of her. Police in Kyiv's New Year's Day activity soon faded. In fact, she'd forgotten the incident completely. Nevertheless, in the weeks that followed, Koltsova began to feel unwell, yet showed the utmost determination. The officer still turned up to her work each and every day. Then, however, something worrying happened. Recalling the shocking turn of events, Koltsova's partner, Kinderkevich, linked everything back to the incident on January 1st. She became ill after New Year's Day, he told the Daily Mail. She had arrested this guy who spat in her face, and sometime later she collapsed. Doctors diagnosed Koltsova with tuberculosis, TB. Unbeknownst to the policewoman, the suspect she detained on New Year's Eve had contracted the disease. So when he spat on her, Koltsova must have caught it. TB is highly contagious and spreads via sneezing and coughing. The infection typically attacks the lungs, and symptoms include a bad cough that won't go away, an unexplained drop in weight, night sweats, fatigue, neck swelling, and a reduced appetite. Once someone inhales TB bacteria, it travels to the lungs, and for the first 6 weeks, it will appear to lie dormant. The bacteria can make their way into the bloodstream, yet frequently, the human immune system is able to battle TB on its own, and the dormant infection won't lead to further illness. This is known as latent tuberculosis. That said, 10% of latent tuberculosis cases will develop into an active strain that can spread to other organs and is potentially deadly. In fact, if untreated, half of those with this type of illness will die as it grows and destroys the lungs in the process. In most cases, tuberculosis is treatable. However, treatment can be a long process that takes anywhere from 6 months to 2 whole years to complete. It's crucial that during this time, patients stick to their medication schedule and receive every dose. In Koltsova's case, doctors decided to use chemotherapy to treat her TB because, although people often think of chemotherapy as a cancer treatment, medical practitioners also use short rounds of the regimen to treat TB. Unfortunately, however, the side effects of the chemo ravaged Koltsova's body. The treatment set the police officer's immune system off, and she began to lose weight, looking gaunt and frail, with her long blonde hair also falling out. The sight of his partner looking so weak shook Kinderkevich, he later recalled. She underwent chemotherapy. She was fed food through an IV drip, and she lost a lot of weight. Sadly, moreover, the treatment came too late to save Koltsova. In July 2016, she passed away, and the tragic news devastated all those who loved and respected the dedicated young police officer. Following her death, the Kyiv Police Department took to social media to pay tribute to her. This is an irreplaceable loss for the whole of Kyiv Police, the post-raid. Fond memories of Irina will remain in our hearts forever. Meanwhile, an unidentified friend spoke candidly of her commitment to the job. Koltsova wanted to change something for our country, they said. Joining the police was a conscious choice. She wanted to change things for the better. It's unclear whether authorities charged the man who spat on Koltsova. Either way, though, nothing will ever bring her back. Not only has her family lost a loved one, but Kyiv lost a fine police officer. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you.